What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're helping our buddy Zach here on his home property. We're standing here in his food plot that he has planted, more of a linear fashion, butts up against the edge of the food, or actually up against the woods. Back here we all got switchgrass growing, which we worked on, or he worked on last year, got it planted. And then back in here we're making some cuttings. He's gassing up now, but we're making some cuttings, and we kind of took some before and after videos. I'll show you what's going on. We're kind of mainly thickening up the center of the property, and I know everybody asked me on the channel about small properties, what you can do, and this is exactly small property. Zach, what is this, 7 acres?
8
acres, but part of it, you know, I would say you're only hunting 6 acres of it, I guess 5 acres. So this is what we're working on. So we got a saw, we're making some cuttings, and he's going to be planting some pines and cedars up in the cuttings that we make, hinge cuttings, flush cuttings, and we got this food plot, and he's going to be continuing working on this switchgrass field. Pay attention, follow along. So we're standing at this spot here. Zach has a stand right up there, and we cleared a new path here, and we made a travel corridor out through the kind of the center of the woods here, and we made all these trails connect, and we hinge cut, blocked off existing trails to make them use new trails. But this would be a good one here, this stand here, and then we walk out here. This will be a new trail that comes out. This kind of hinge cut out on the side there, and then we're out to the food plot, and then bordered by the switchgrass. Now let's take a look at this box blind, and this is a big mistake, but we're teaching Zach here that it's got to be hidden, and we're going to relocate it to a new spot. The blind is now going to go right in here. That way he can leave his house up there, walk around the field edge in a non-hunting area, and slip right into the back side. It'll be hidden behind this cedar, this pine, and he can come, what, 5 feet off the field edge into it, and it'll be hidden, and he can still shoot down into the switchgrass and the food plot, and there's a water hole here. And we'll work our way around. I'll show you where the blind is now. Stands right up there, actually 2 of them, and a water hole here. And food plot wraps around this way, bordered by switchgrass, which basically it's the first year of the switchgrass. And then food plot wraps around. It's kind of a pinch point here where the food wraps around, kind of goes into here, which will connect to a travel route, and then it continues this way, wraps all the way around. All right, guys, we came around this bend, and here is the redneck blind. You can see any deer that comes out into this field, their attention is going to be focused on that, unfortunately. And we're in a high hunting pressure area. I mean, all your neighbors hunt, right? Right?
All of them.
All of them. So we have to do something here 100% different than any other neighbors. And we're taking that thing, moving it all the way down the other end, off to the field edge. It'll be hidden behind a pine. It won't stand out like a sore thumb. I mean, yeah, does might come in here, but all their focus is going to be on that blind. See, when you get down here to deer level, all this structure now behind me and all that stuff, so when a deer or a buck comes in here, they can't see straight through this, you know, 1 acre basically that was an open field area. They can't see straight through it, so now it encourages them to come in here because they can't see on the other side. So you have to come in here, they'll weave in and out of here through the hinge cuts and drop trees and all that to get to the other side to see what's over there. So it encourages them to come through here to get to that other side to see what's over there. What's up, guys? I wanted to end the actual video on the property where I left it at and actually draw you guys a design. So I have a map pulled up on my hunt stand app, and that's where I draw the maps at. But I wanted to give you this perspective of it, just a different angle, different view, obviously an aerial photo, but you've seen everything we did in the video. So let's dive into the map, and I'll show you guys pretty much exactly what we did and then where we moved the box blind. So let's take a look at that. All right, so we're sharing the screen here. So let's start out with the food plot design. So what Zach had as far as the food plot design goes was the food plot wraps around this way, kind of goes up into there, and then it goes over to there. And then it continues around and there. So that's Zach's food plot. So there's kind of a little pinch point right here that goes back through there and actually goes this way for a deer trail. But his box blind was right there. And that's where you seen in the video where it was just stuck out like a sore thumb. So it was right there. So we took that blind and we moved that thing over to here, his box blind. So what that does is allows him still to shoot out into the food plots, right? But it also, he can leave his house, walk over around here into a non-deer area. It's just an open field, just a little bit of hay. There's no production over there, so he can zoom around and then boom, get right into the back side of his box blind. Also, he does have a stand right there as well, so he can go right over there into the other stand. Easy access, shouldn't be spooking, less chance of spooking things that way. So that new box blind is right there. Now out here is all this area in here is all that switchgrass you guys had seen. Okay, it's all switchgrass right through there, just to provide extra cover. They may not necessarily be bedding in there, but it's just extra cover. Makes them feel a little bit safe when you have that food plot up against that woods line like that. Just extra cover. Not saying nothing will ever bed in there, but that's where the switchgrass currently is. Now, Zach will have a stand over in this pine here, which he can access either from this side or this side through his property. He can get to it both ways. We'll see how that goes. He will have another stand over here, but it'll actually be a hang on, so it'll be tucked up in a cedar. Won't be able to see it. Easy access, good to go. He plans on putting one over here somewhere because he can slip out of his house, go right into it. That stand would be kind of more for the rut situation, but I think that'll be a good one as well. Now, you guys got to remember, this is 5 acres. You have to be very precise on properties like this because they're so small. Now, another thing that we did was we created, well, he worked on it last year, but there's a trail that goes back through here a little bit. Well, it kind of was cut off a little bit and it didn't really go anywhere. So we actually made it come out through here. That's where we showed you in the video where we made that new entry point into the food plot. And there is actually a water hole right around in there. So he'll be able to hunt that from his other bow stand and the box blind, which is right there. So there's a water hole there. And then what we did was we connected this trail so these deer can flow. Most of them come out of this area here. It's just a bunch of early successional growths because the guys come in there that control the power lines. They bush hog these areas every 7 or 8 years. So right now, this is a bunch of overgrown stuff, very thick, early successional growth, a lot of deer in there. They're feeding in there. So these deer can flow through this food plot and they can go into this trail, which also can go back around. But what we did was we took this trail and we made one through here, around, and back around. Reason we did that was, as you see in the video, we took all these scattered trees all through here and dropped them. We hinge cut them and everything. And what happens when you do that, several trees in there that we hinge cut, a lot of them we just flush cut. What happens when you do that is, before you could see straight down through Zach's area. Now, I don't want to call this area a woods because it really wasn't. It was more open area, grassy areas, has some early successional growth in it. But from the majority of it, from a deer's perspective,
looking through that, it was very thin. You could see straight through it. So we dropped all these trees in here, right? And now on a deer's level, they look through there, they can't see it. So they forces them in there to have to weave in and out to see what's on the other side. And what another reason for that is when you drop those trees like that, birds land on those trees, they start pooping. They poop out seeds that they've eaten, allows things to regrow. Now Zach is also going to stick red osier dogwood down into the trees, and then some pines and some conifers, some spruce seedlings that he's going to stick down in there in between the treetops. That way the deer can't get to them, because he's planted hundreds of trees in this area and he can't get them to grow because the deer destroyed them. He's tried tubing them. It's hard to do. So it's easier when you drop the trees and you can stick those cuttings into those trees. So that's pretty much what we did on this small property. There's so much you can do. It has to be thick enough, and you have to hunt it precisely. Have a good food plot, some switchgrass, cuttings, but you can't be afraid to cut trees, guys, on these small. This is 5 acres. So we're going to keep you guys updated on the progress over this, and we'll see what Zach can pull out of there.
For more information, give that video a watch right there. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing a lot more like these. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how you guys like the video.